Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the European Community Championship, ECC. Today we are here with Division 3 playoffs. We had such a brilliant season play during the season. And of course, if you just missed it, we just did have the Waifu Fan Club game and they took that series 4-3. They took it all the way to game 7. It was a brilliant game. It looked like they nearly lost it. Roger will tell you more about that because he's back with me in the casting booth.
Yeah, I mean that was a great series to start this whole scene with, and the playoffs like in general. I wasn't really expecting a Game 7 series, honestly. Like before we even get to start this whole scene, I was like, it's already going to be 4-0 for Waifu Fan Club. But even though like I knew it was like a bit harsh because TC Sword they still have like hot and cold performance as I mentioned before, but they still delivered that kind of some kind of result, but it still didn't really pay off. Like they had like 2 goals lead and like lost it in game number 7, so that was like a huge kind of shift, and they still like life where they still remain undefeated. So that's still like a great series, of course. But here in the second one, like I think it's going to be a little bit of a different story here. Like we're not gonna have like a team that's like never really lost any series or something. I think both teams could be like having some kind of similar results, so it should be very very close right from the start. But I would love to hear like if you have like any kind of expectations or maybe even predictions from this whole series, like Xenon versus Incendia Spark.
Well, I mean, you mentioned there about similar results, and you can't really get any more similar than this. Both of these teams, joint third and fourth in the league, breakdown Xenon, 5 wins and 4 losses, and so too with Incendia Spark. They also have 5 wins and 4 losses. It's just that game differential that separates these two teams in the standings. But if you look at the individual talent that these two teams have, it's honestly the stats that these aren't even the completed stats. These aren't even the regular, like the stats that are most updated. You've got Mikas on 15 goals, 16 assists, and 39 saves. If you can have one player, and he is playing, starting in the breakdown Xenon side, if you can literally just have him being on top of the fence, like you know that it's going to be difficult for Incendia Spark to score, but it's also the exact same because DC he has 41 saves, just 2 more, and already it's early end-to-end stuff in this game so far. Mikas is going to have to try and get away with this when he's got that space and that time. He plays it straight up into the middle, but it's not really the best of balls there. And again, the attack is still going, but 30 seconds in, end-to-end, 2 defenses, not had to do much so far.
Yeah, it's like usually this kind of start happens like in the first 30 seconds or maybe even in the first minute, or could be possibly the entire game where it could go like that, where nobody's going to be finding something right away. But it had to be because, as he mentioned it before, and he just managed to show up right now. Maybe not the best goal, but Jessica, he was like able to find a really smart touch just to get that extra push on the ball, just to set it right back to his teammate, and the finish was there very quickly, and that's already 1-0 for Xenon, and that's already a quick start for them.
I mean, yeah, we were talking about Mikas, but we weren't talking about his goal scoring ability, but that's where he just showed up. He's not even the top scorer on this breakdown Xenon side so far. It is his teammate, Enderino, who has 24 goals. And I can't quite remember. It wasn't even Enderino who got the assist. It was Jezical, or Jeremiah, he's also known as. They're on the defense at the minute, but again, Mikas is there to play it forward too. Jezical and Mikas is there again, but they just bump into each other. Vexel does make the save eventually, and they're now on their own attack. It's bouncing above the backboard. Is somebody there? Yes, they are. It is DC off the crossbar. Mikas with another save off of a toast shot. Vexel again trying to keep this attack alive and play it back into the middle. There is another shot coming in and another save from Mikas, and that is the defensive ability that we were talking about.
Such a great defense. They're not taking any blow that easily, and great shots they're like happening. They're not that kind of weak shots, like having so much power and how close they are in front of the net, that kind of leaves less reaction time for the defenders, but they were still able to pull this one off and still maintain that 1-goal lead, and time is like slowly ticking. Of course, like one goal is never really enough. Like we're still seeing these kind of plays and great attempt here from Spark, but it's not gonna result in anything that much. But the pressure is still like going on and it's still relentless. You never really know when that slight mistake could be resulting in a huge kind of punishments coming in from their opponents because they're still going and still forcing the ball to stay on the blue side for long enough until a mistake happens.
I mean, yeah, it is pressure, that's for sure, but you can't really say that it's really worrying this breakdown Xenon's side. The defensive structure, it's just always so organized. They always know exactly where to place themselves, and so far you can see that because even with the pressure that they have been facing, they've been able to cope with it extremely well, not even looking like conceding really. There's always been a player there, but Vexil, he has been the standout player for me for this Incendia Spark side so far, trying to take it over. Mikas again with another shot, but Vexil, that man again, he's there and he takes the shot from far out, and that is the equalizer. 1-1.
Now, as you mentioned, like you're right about how they looked extremely organized in the defense, but in this very moment they got cut off so easily. And Vexels, he was like coming in with a very simple shot, like from the midfield, just to respond back. And you know, this kind of strategy is valid, like as long as you can have a solid kind of defense and clears, and they're able to have a goal at least coming in from their opponent's mistake. But against like a team like maybe Xenon, like again because they looked also very organized and all. So this kind of leaves less chances for them to be messing up so badly where they're going to be conceding another one. But you never really know. Maybe you're still gonna see another moment where that's gonna happen again because they're still having solid pressure. It's still not that much of a threat again. They had a couple of decent shots every now and then, but a lot of them were like a bit too wide. But that is still looking extremely scary, and it just had to be Jezekiel putting the team back on the lead, as I was mentioning that, and the touch never really happened here at the corner. I think they really wanted to gain some control and possibly work in the counter, but as soon as they let the ball bouncing off the corner, it just the shot was coming in so quickly.
They've literally been on the opposing end of attack after attack after attack after attack, and it's the easiest ball that Incendia Spark have to deal with, and they just miss the touch, and Mikas practically gets a free assist. It's another goal involvement, so he won't be moaning, and then Jezekiel manages to put it away, but oh, Mikas missing out on that one, and it's a really good job that no Incendia players were there, otherwise it would have been extremely dangerous. Jezekiel trying to keep the attack alive, trying to carry it into the middle. There's another missed touch from both teams on the backboard. Enderino still keeping it in the middle. Mikas trying to play it in. It is another ball into the middle. Jezekiel is there, but so too is DC. He makes his save, and that's a huge boom forward, but it's to the left-hand side from Enderino. And Vexil and Jezekiel coming together. It's another 50. They're trying to keep the pressure on this time. It's been a complete switch of events. Jezekiel is up in the middle, and again, there is another goal. 3-1. He's done well to reach that one. Enderino with the assist. And that is the kind of goals that you want to be seeing. Vexil only just missed out on it, but the finish, brilliant.
Yeah, definitely nice play. And I think there's like one player that didn't really get that much of credit, and that had to be Ender. Like, even though he doesn't really have a lot of points or like maybe shots or whatever, he's still helping his teammates a lot when it comes to keeping up with the rotation, allowing them to go for the ball and all. And right now they also managed to have a nice passing play, but right now with 10 seconds left, one goal away from making that comeback happen. As I was mentioning, how, you know, like praising the whole team, and they managed to make a bit of a mistake right now, and that's going to be resulting in a goal very, very quickly. And I think right now winning the kickoff is going to be really important. And they actually pull it off right now, but the counter is already on the work.
I mean, there's 3 seconds left. Nothing is impossible. Jezekiel is up. He tries to play it down, and Enderino has to play this one down, and the touch was missing. Breakdown Xenon do take game one, and they take game one 3-2. It was a close one, but a really good one, and also an important one. Starters, you mean to go on, if I may?
Yeah, I mean, both teams did very well. Like Xenon, they looked really good and all. They looked very, organized and everything. They're like having solid positioning. They're able to basically cover any parts of the net and everything else. But Spark, they had good showing every now and then. But in general, it's like they were like still kind of lacking. And even though that still didn't really seem to be quite enough for Spark to be at least having that equalizer and maybe even send it to an overtime. So like here it's game like best of 7. That's still gonna allow them to have more time to be bouncing back. We have seen it happening in the previous series where the team kind of came out of nowhere and managed to have that kind of close result in the end. But here, like in the next game, I think they have already seen uh, how this series is going to be like. So they have already had a taste what it's like, and they could be adapting and possibly maybe working on different kind of strategies, or maybe even focus on different kind of things that they kind of struggle with. So that's still gonna allow the team to have even more time to be bouncing back. So one game loss is not the end of the story.
I mean, yeah, it's not the end of the story. And if this was season play, we possibly might be talking a little bit different because in a best of 5, game 1 is probably one of the most important. Yeah, it's also the one where you've got to take it a bit slow, kind of figure out how each team are going to play. But in a best of 7, it's a bit irrelevant, really. Yeah, you want to have a good start, but at the end of the day, it means nothing if you go and take the next game because you're not on game point. Game 3, for me, is the most important game in a best of 7. And we are in game 2 right now. And again, it's a bit of a shaky start from both these teams. Nothing too strong, but again, it's only early on and you can't expect too much. But Vexil, again, with a really big carry, playing it into the middle. DC and Jezical coming together, and Vexil, again, trying to keep this pressure on. Kind of toast, playing it to Vexil yet again, and it is a shot. And Enderino, he did get the touch, but Vexil early on, 33 seconds in, a good pass up and a good shot. Brilliant placement. 1-0 to Incendia Spark, sorry.
Really solid start. I mean, after losing a game and you get to score first very, very quickly, and I mean also these kind of passing plays that they had. I mean, in the first game, maybe it didn't really pay off that much, but right now they pull it off. It didn't work, but the second time it's managed to be a goal. So this is something that they have to be working very nicely, which is their passing plays. They're able to connect these kind of shots and have a lot of more threat and have, I would say, a bigger chance when it comes to finding the net. Like working as a team is a very important thing, like especially like in the 3v3, of course. You can't always expect solo plays to be working. Like it happens sometimes when the players are like individually skilled and like possibly have solid mechanics and everything, but that's never going to be enough. Like in 3v3, you really need to be working as a team, and it's like they already have that, and I think we really need to see more of that from Spark to have the edge and possibly the whole momentum in this whole series.
Yeah, we definitely need to see more of that. And it is another shot from Vexil. Jezical makes a save, and Jezical gets another 50, but DC is left with this one, playing it into the middle. And Mikas was there waiting, but he couldn't do too much with it. Incendia Spark on another attack. But again, it's that man again. Jezical always seems to be the one that is waiting in defense. And Enderino this time making another save, and it's just being cut out in the midfield right now. It's a constant cycle. Vexil playing it up. He sees DC on the back bar, but DC had already dropped. Vexil again keeping this pressure on, playing it up high into the sky. Mikas with the clearance, but it doesn't go too far. But this time, Jezical manages to play it.
And also one thing about Spark is that they're having a lot of space once they are like pushing forward, and that's really allowing them to go for these kinds of passing plays. That's something that is really necessary, which is having the space, but they're having it done so much easier right now, and it's really allowing them to find each other's a lot easier without really risking any kind of maybe having their kind of passing plays to be shut down very quickly. But 1-goal lead so far, and they're looking really nice so far. But just when it comes to any team having any kind of counter attack, you never really know when it's going to be a goal, because both teams have solid shots and solid defensive plays. But it's just like for Xenon, it's like they have been defensive for quite so long, and we still haven't really seen anything coming in from them. It just always allowing Spark to have these kind of offensive plays over and over again.
I mean, yeah, I do agree with you on that point, to be honest. And often when you speak about trying to win in threes, you think speed, I need to be fast, I need to be beating this player to the ball, I need to try and catch them off guard. Well, Incendia Spark are actually doing the complete opposite right now, and it's working for them. They're taking their time. Like, if they see that Breakdown Xenon aren't going to get a good touch, but speaking of good touches, how How about that from Enderino?
You know, that was coming out of nowhere, and Mikas coming in with a long pass, and Ender with a pre-flip off the corner just to put this one far post, and that was incredible play. I mean, they have been quiet the entire time, but I think this one is definitely gonna do it for them. Like, it's it's definitely a nice looking goal for sure, and possibly a very important one. And maybe you're gonna see more of that. I'm not really sure, but this is definitely a nice way to be responding back.
I mean, there's only 1 minute left in this game, just over, and we are back to a level stalemate. That touch from Enderino just took the ball away from Jezical, who was waiting in the middle. Toast is trying to play this one forward again. That's a very high touch from Enderino. Both him and Jezical going with the double commit. It could be a chance to capitalize here. DC trying to play it down. Toast was there, but it was just a bit too far away from him, and DC is in trouble. He's on 0 boost. He needs to try and get to this one. And thankfully for him and Incendia, he does, but it is still 1-1. Enderino now playing it into the corner. Toast is there waiting. Mikas this time gets bumped by Toast, so we can't get a brilliant follow-up on that one. Jezical, he's going to want to follow on this one. Run out of boost again, though. Vexil getting an awkward touch for both these teams. Toast bumping Vexil, and that's a big pinch there from Mikas. Toast, though, playing it away as there was nobody from Breakdown Xenon there. Unlike now, Enderino playing it up into the sky. Vexil with another touch, and he has been my man of the match right now. Vexil has been the standout performer in attack, in defense, in midfield. He's always there. He doesn't get the touch on this one, though. And when he was needed, he wasn't there. Mikas with 4 seconds left. 2-1 now to break down Xenon, and they could have just stolen game 2.
The control and the confidence coming in from them. I mean, look at how close they were pushing, like, upfield. You know that is very risky. Like, at any given moment, they could be getting countered on, but they were able to pull it off very nicely, and they finally managed to force a mistake to happen in the defense, and they were there to capitalize on that, and they already got, like, a goal in the last maybe 4 or 5 seconds. Couldn't really pay attention to how much time was left on the clock, but that goal was huge, and it just pays off very, very well as they go like up by 2 right now in this series. And you know, it's another game where it's also going to be 1 goal difference, but again, it's sort of like Incendia, like Spark, they're doing it very, very well, but it's always just like, you know, it's like this much away from like actually make it to happen and like make it work and to be put together.
Yeah, I agree. It's so close every time, every attack. It's so close, but just not close enough. They always get the plays, they always look for the passes, but it is literally just too far away from the player receiving the pass, or it's just too far away from the goal. And I was speaking about at the start of this game too, of course, Breakdown Xenon taking this one, the 2-0 lead in the series. Now it's down to Incendia Spark in game 3, which I mentioned was the most important game of the best of 7 for me. It's down to them now to show us what they can do. If they can take game 3, they know that they can take game 4. They know they could take game 5 and potentially the series, but they've not won a game yet. Breakdown Xenon going to look to carry on with the strength that they have been showing. They took that game late on and they won 2-1. And it was Mikas and Enderino, actually, I think it was. But Jezical been really strong at the back. He's mainly been the key to their transitional plays right now. And Incendia Spark, they need to come up with something. We said it before, it's close, but not close enough.
Yeah, and I think every player from Xenon, it's like they had a very important role. Like in every game, they kind of like switch these kind of roles. You know, like one of them becomes like a bit more defensive, like helping when it comes to having a solid rotation, and maybe like the other player would be taking that kind of offensive role where they're going to be pushing a lot for these kind of offensive plays. And you know, it's working very nicely, like as a team, and everything is just looking extremely smooth for them. So like they don't really have any kind of problem having any kind of role, and I think that is a huge factor for this whole team, and it could also make this whole dynamic to be working very nicely like at any given situation. If they're like under pressure, or maybe not even under pressure, maybe they're like the team causing the pressure, it's still going to be looking really solid for them. But like here, like in game number 3, we still need to see more of Spark, because they have the potential, but it's just at the end they still fall short, and we're 1 minute in, we still haven't really seen the first goal. So the first goal could be very important right now, especially for Spark, but it just had to be Jezekiel, and it's a 1-goal lead right now for them.
Yeah, you were talking about getting the goal, and they do finally get it. Mikas and Jezekiel, those two just connecting again. Jezekiel with the goal, and it's a very important goal too. Still a long time left in this game, though. Anything can happen. It was fairly 50-50 from both ends, and Vexil again, that man, again. It's 1-1 instantly. Just replying to the questions that were asked. Sorry, 1-1 now in this game. Still a long time left, though. I was just about to say it could, like anything can happen. Honestly, it's not been the best of starts for either of these teams. None have. I mean, they've been playing good Rocket League, yes, but none of them have seemed too dominant, and that's just another mistake, and it's another Jezekiel goal. We've just had 3 goals in what feels like about 3 seconds here. Just scrappy goals that really shouldn't be going in.
Yeah, I mean, I've seen like one after the kickoff. It was also very quick, and right now we get to see another one. Like, I'm not really sure what is really going on, and I think it's anybody's game when this happens. But you know, I would say like for Spark, like yeah, they were able to respond back very quickly after conceding the goal, but they were able to concede another one very quickly, and again, it just have to respond all the way back. So they put a lot of hard work into their goals, and in a blink, they just take it away from them. And 3 minutes remaining right now. I think this could be a high-scoring game if this actually gonna continue on, like where it's just going to be like ping pong, and you know it's going to be a very unpredictable plays overall, and a lot of some kind of mistakes that you wouldn't really expect to happen, as kind of like a lot of 50s going on too. So, like, yeah, I think both teams are like looking really nice here, but you just never really know when that mistake can happen, and this could be possibly the moment where, all right, well, as I just think of it, well, it had to be Digital booming this one, and it's going to be them extending the lead. And you know what? He's like doing it from his own half, and nobody was home to get that clear. And you could also see that Ender. Look at how eager they are when it comes to finding that goal to secure the lead, and they still pull it off here.
Well, yeah, I think some people are saying it in chat now. Incendia Spark have just lost their heads a tiny bit. Vexil, they would have been playing that a lot slower in the previous 2 games, but in this game, Vexil just tried to rush out for it. He tried to just completely go out, even though there was no pressure on him, really. It was a free ball, and all he had to do was just go up and stop that ball from going in, and nobody was there to save it. Mikas with another shot, and this time it is DC. Vexil trying to play it forward, makes it easy for Jezekiel, though. Another play out to the side, Enderino booming that ball forward. Jezekiel back into the middle. Is anyone there to receive the pass? Not for Breakdown Xenon. It was only Toast who got a save onto it. It's back in the middle, though, again. Jezekiel, sorry, keeping the pressure on, and this time it's Enderino. Can he get the second touch? Yes, he can! And that one has been forced into the goal. What a brilliant goal. 4-1 now. Enderino with a brilliant touch. Bounces off the ceiling, does not let his momentum go. Plays it above the 2 defenders. Nobody can save that one. That is an absolutely magnificent goal. And that is 4 on the board now, looking extremely comfortable. And Breakdown Xenon, as it stands, are going to take game 3.
Yeah, I mean, we have seen a pre-flip from the corner before, and right now, like, you can also see how he jumped way earlier before his opponent even next the touch, and he was able to get this whole setup. And you know, it's looking very incredible, and also the team is looking extremely sharp, especially after a goal like this. Like, it could boost that confidence, like, in a very high level, and it's definitely gonna show. Like right now, 4-1. We have seen a lot of games where, I mean, a lot of games where it's going to be 1 goal difference, but right now it's like 4-1. So this could be a little bit of an alarming situation for Spark, because they were able to keep it very close despite of how their opponents were like able to control this whole pace a lot easier. But they still had like a 1 goal game, and right now 4-1 with 1 minute remaining. I really wonder what could be done right now. They're still having these kind of bushes, but they're not really able to connect in nearly any of them, and it's almost like they're really trying to have any kind of control. They're trying their best, but it's not really falling apart.
They nearly got another goal to potentially bring them back into the game, but Jezekiel managed to get onto it. Jezekiel and Mikas connecting down that right-hand side, trying to come up with an attack, and Vexil has just sent that one forward. 34 seconds left. There's only 2 goals in it now. I do strongly think it's possible, quite practically a free goal. Nobody was there to save that one. It's another scrappy one, but Incendia Spark will not be complaining. We are getting off with another kickoff here, 30 seconds on the board. Mikas winning this one. Vexil touching it down to the side, trying to make it awkward for Breakdown Xenon. He has the ball in control, gets a flick over one. Down into the corner. Toast trying to get there. It is a shot on target, but it's saved. Toast trying to play it in again. And here we go. DC with a goal.
No
Toast
way.
just wasn't letting that ball go away. 1 goal in it. 18 seconds left. Surely they're thinking now, come on, guys, we can do this. They need 1 more goal. Incendia Sparker on the comeback. It was looking so good for Breakdown Xenon, but all of a sudden they're going to be questioning everything. They're going to be like, wow, where has this come from? And I'm questioning it too. Where has this been all game? Why couldn't we have seen this attacking prowess? It's 10 seconds left. Vexil with an important save. Needs to come off the ceiling. Toast with another save. Enderino is up, sends it down in an awkward position. They get the touch, but the ball has dropped, and Breakdown Xenon come away with that one. 4-3. It was so close for Incendia Spark. They nearly came back into it. And I tell you what, with that momentum going into the next game, they've got to be thinking game 4, it could be ours. I mean, it looked like for so long that Breakdown Xenon were just going to be running away with it. But Vexil, DC, and Toast, they were trying their absolute hardest to come back into it. But unfortunately, they just fell short. And with Breakdown Xenon taking game 3, that leaves us on match point. 1 more game is all that they need, and 1 more game is all that's in it.
Yeah, and after having this incredible wake up call from Spark, like it just happened out of nowhere. It seemed like they were able to pull it off, but maybe they just needed maybe that kind of confidence to actually pull it off. But after like I was losing by 1 goal away, this could lead to 2 things. Like in the next game, we either see them being really frustrated if they get to concede first, or maybe this momentum is going to be continue over. And I think this is like the best thing to do, which is like try to, you know, don't think about like these kind of losses. Keep on carrying the momentum. Like they have been able to do it. They have been able to, kind of surprise us. I thought like, yeah, it was going to be 4-1 with 1 minute remaining. It's like, yeah, possibly they're gonna get Brazil, or maybe their opponent's going to be scoring non-stop. But they were still able to have these kind of pushes and have another closer result where it's going to be 4-3. I wasn't really expecting that, but it just had to be Mikas in 10 seconds only, and we're gonna have that 1 goal lead very, very quickly. This is definitely not the start that Spark want to have, but again, you still don't want to count them out, especially after how they played in the last few seconds from the previous game.
That goal is so unbelievably important for Breakdown Xenon. They needed a strong start in this game. Like I mentioned, they only need to win 1 more to find themselves in the next round of the playoffs. Mikas is trying to keep this one in the Incendia Spark corner. 2 plays going for that one, and somehow I do believe that was a pinch between Enderino and Jessica. It just looked like a double commit to me. Only 52 miles per hour, potentially not. No, it wasn't a pinch between those 2 players. It was an awkward touch, and Jessica was there to finish it off. 2-0 now, 4 minutes 31 seconds. I mean, this really isn't good for Incendia Spark. The Breakdown Xenon will be beyond happy, but they'll need to keep their heads in the game. Enderino is letting that one go, but Jessica is up for it. Stops Vexil from getting away with it. DC playing it all the way down to Mikas, waiting in the middle. Toast is there, and it's past all 3 of them, and Mikas is left with an open net to shoot in. 3-0 now in game 4. Is it over already? You kind of have to think so.
Yeah, like they're falling apart right now so quickly. This is not the start that I really wanted to see, especially after how they played in the last few seconds. They were like able to pull it off, but it's like just 1 goal. That goal, like the very early goal, it's very, very important, and it already shows how it's really led to even more frustration for the team. And from 1 goal, it just ended up snowballing, and right now it just became 3 goals with possibly like maybe like 4 minutes right now. It's very possible they could do it, but it just this kind of start, it really hurts a lot. And we could still see it happening, but it's gonna take a lot to process for sure.
I mean, to be honest, we can't count them out too early on, can we? Because they scored two really, really late goals, and they nearly found themselves back into it from 4-1 down in the last game. They can definitely score 3 again, but I mean, not as it stands. This pressure from Breakdown Xenon is just unbelievable. That is a brilliant touch, though. Enderino with a big saver pass. Jezical to Enderino, but Jezical couldn't get another touch onto it. Vexil carrying it all the way down, trying to get the foot reset, but it's a free ball all the way to Mika, sent into the Incendia Spark corner. Toast taking his time, gets a missed touch. DC with a 50 against Enderino. Vexil, Mikas, and Jezical all up at once. DC sending this one away. Vexil with the pressure, but he misses out on that one. Mikas trying to take it away again. It's up, bouncing away in the corner. All 3 players, all on one side. Just that touch into the middle. Mikas was there, but couldn't find another goal. 2 minutes 30 left, and we are still 3-0 up with Breakdown Xenon in the lead. Enderino and I think that was Jezical going up together. Mikas trying to take this one away again, but the pressure isn't even seemingly too much right now. They're dealing with it brilliantly. Mikas again playing it into the middle. Toast is there, but he misses a touch again. Jezical makes it 4 in game 4. Now we can believe that it may be all over.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, after the first goal, it really allowed them to have a lot of confidence to keep on striking until they get these kind of results they're looking for. And they managed to have like 3 goals in the first minute. And right now, like, maybe after the first 3 goals, everything seemed to be quiet. This is like a really good moment for Spark to be like calming down and possibly pulling themselves together. But right now, we get to see the 4th goal, and honestly, all of these goals would have been said if they had like the same kind of mentality that we have seen in the previous games. But right now, this is definitely not the kind of performance that we are all were expecting. But it's still a lot of time them for this whole team, and I think this is a good start to pull it off. But we need to see something to happen very quickly. We can't really just wait and maybe until Xenon TV making mistakes, because we need to see Spark TV starting things off. We need to see those counters. We need to see the speed in their like execution when it comes to having nearly every play that they're going to be having in their offensive plays.
I mean, I was gonna say, normally when you talk about losing your patience, you're speaking about the mentality. You're speaking about getting annoyed with the game, getting angry with it, just really not enjoying playing. But when I talk about Incendia Spark losing patience, I actually mean losing their in-game patience. They're not being as slow, they're not taking their time, they're just trying to rush everything. And that shot is on target from Jezical and Mikas. Again, I was trying to say that Incendia Spark are just rushing everything. Vexil tries to go boost over ball. I have no idea where he even went after picking up that boost. He just seemed to vanish to me. And it's now 5-1 to Breakdown Xenon. You have to feel sorry for Incendia's Spark, but you also have to admire the pure aggression from Breakdown Xenon. They have been absolutely brilliant in this final game. They've been brilliant all series long. 1 minute left now, trying to get more and more. They don't want to let it up, and it is another goal for Mikas. It's number 4 for him. He has been absolutely brilliant. It really is game over. You've just got to stand here in awe and just be like, wow, this team are playing extremely well. And we saw one in the other series earlier on in the stream. It's 6-1 right now. We could potentially be seeing another Brazil. 50 seconds left. I'm sure that Breakdown Xenon are going to try to get it. I mean, Brazil is just really embarrassing. The scoreline is embarrassing enough, and Toast missing out on that one. Free ball for Vexil, sends it all the way down. Enderino gets the touch. There could be a goal. No, because Jezical was there. Vexil trying to get a blow up on his way out. All 3 players are up. All 3 players have gone. Vexil has made his way back towards the goal, though. Mikas letting it drop. Vexil rooming it forward. 20 seconds left on the clock now. The Brazil is still there, ready to be picked up. Mikas is going to try and boom this one forward all the way into the corner, but Vexil is there, and Enderino was waiting underneath him, which got an awkward touch. 10 seconds. It's still floating up in the air. Vexil could try and get down to it. The Brazil will not happen. because Toast does find a goal, but that's all it is. It's not even a. It's literally meaningful. It's just a consolation at this point. They are still going out. 6 seconds left. 6-2. Incendia Spark, you tried your best, but it just wasn't enough. Breakdown Xenon were absolutely brilliant. I'm sure they won't actually care about not getting the Brazil, but they do care about moving on into the next round. 6-2 in game four. And it seems really bad to say, but Breakdown Xenon complete the 4-0 sweep in the playoffs. It's hard enough to get a 3-0 sweep in playoffs in a best of five, but they went 4 games undefeated and they take the series after taking the brilliant game that was 6-2.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, that was huge. I mean, they were already being down by three in the series, and they already conceded like 3 goals in 1 minute. It's definitely a difficult task to keep their heads up, and the control was coming in very nicely. Like even if they, like Excellent could really maybe score after these 3 goals, but they still kept on controlling the ball and possibly shut down any chance that their opponents had, and eventually it just had to be the fourth goal, and then like the fifth one, and like the sixth one, and whatever. So they had a huge mental advantage, and I think that gave them a lot when it comes to delivering that kind of result. But I still respect Spark for pulling themselves together after getting Brazil. They still had a lot of close games, and they still had like that kind of push where it was like 4-1, and they made it to be very close by 1 game, 1 goal away. They still pulled it off, and I still really respect them for that. But just at the end of the day, it had to be the better team to be make it, and GG's well played for both of the teams.
Yeah, unfortunately for Incendia Spark, it does mean that they are out of the playoffs. It's all over for them. But Breakdown Xenon, they do move on into the lower bracket round two, where they will be coming up against the loser of the winner bracket in round one, which was TC Esports. Of course, they lost in a game 7 to Waifu Fan Club. If they perform like they did, it's going to be difficult to say which way this one is going to go. But as for you guys, I hope that you don't go anywhere because we will be right back after a short break.